An installment of the Irongrind Strength video blogs. First of all, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's liked the page so far. Anyone who's messaged me with their words of support, it really does mean a lot to me. Early on, obviously, you guys mainly being family and friends, it's really good to know that you're getting behind me and what I'm passionate about. If there's any questions you guys have off the back of any of the posts that I make, feel free to just leave questions in the comment section, PM me, or email me at info@irongrinstrength.com. All right, I'm going to jump straight into today's topic, which is it's going to be about coaching client rapport. So sort of how you can go about choosing a coach or a trainer that's going to suit your specific goals for training. Obviously, in the Brisbane area, it's quite saturated with, there's a 24-hour gym just about on every corner who have a few personal trainers working out of those. There's numerous strength gyms. And yeah, I just wanted to go through a few points that can sort of maybe help you decide if that personal trainer or coach is the right one for you. Again, so because we are sort of spoilt for choice, it can be a little overwhelming when you do make that decision that, hey, I want some help, I want some coaching or training. But I think you can sort of look at the other side of the coin and say, well, I really am spoilt for choice, so everyone's going to have their own style, the different cues that make up their coaching ethics. And that sort of comes from the different people that we've been taught by, whether it be from uni. I know for myself, coming through QUT in my degree, Tony Shield was someone that really influenced my coaching. And yeah, I guess that is the beauty. Like, if you have a certain goal, if you go ask, 5 coaches that, I want to get stronger, we're all going to have a different way of getting there. I mean, the basic principles are going to be pretty well the same. Well, you'd hope so anyway. But the exact way that we go about it would be slightly different. Yeah, so when you first are sort of sitting down with a prospective coach, just make sure you're asking heaps of questions. Really be forward about what your goals are. So before you even decide or make that call, know what you want to achieve. Don't go in there just saying, I just want to go in there and start training and just be that broad. Be specific. Make sure you know what you want to get out of it, because you've got to remember that, it's an investment in your goals, in your health. So you want to make sure that you're taking yourself seriously before you go putting yourself in the hands of another. And I think you've really got to make sure that the coach or trainer that you're going to start working with is buying into your goals. If you're just you don't want to be just a dollar sign to a trainer. You don't just want to be paying their rent. You want to mean something to them, because I know that's something that I take pride in, is knowing all my individual clients' goals and where they want to go and how I can take them there. So I make an effort to obviously build that rapport and get to know them on a personal level, but then also make sure that I'm educating them along the way as we're training. So don't go there and be a passive client. So if you do make that decision, you've chosen your trainer, don't go in there just thinking, all right, I'm just going in there for the next hour. Whatever we do is whatever we do. Make sure you're asking, all right, what are we doing here? Why? What is this going to help? How is this going to help? I'm always talking to my clients about, like whether we're going from possibly a hypertrophy phase. So we're starting, relatively high levels of volume. So it's going to be a different type of fatigue. So it's going to be more of a muscular fatigue. You're probably going to wake up a bit sore and stiff. But then if we're heading into like a strength power sort of phase, that volume's going to drop away. So you're going to have a more neural fatigue, because we're lifting heavier for less effort. So it's putting more strain on your brain to recruit those motor units. So yeah, don't just go in there and be passive. Make sure you're always asking questions. Don't be a dollar sign to a Joe Blogs trainer. Yeah, that's the main points that I sort of wanted to go over today. Just make sure that the coach that you do decide to go with does have integrity. I would much rather, if I've got someone who comes to me with specific goals that I know are out of my expertise, or even just interest, if I know that they're training for something that doesn't really interest me, I'm going to be upfront and honest with them because I don't just want to take their money for the sake of. And I know if I was a client that was asking a coach, you know, how do I get to this? But then I started training with them and I felt like they didn't care or they didn't know. Well, I'm just wasting my money. So, you know, if I had someone, for example, come to me and say, you know, I want to prep for a physique comp, you know, in 5 months' time, I'll straight up tell them that, you know, I don't have the knowledge nutritionally to help you achieve that. And even probably from a training perspective, like it's just something that I'm not experienced in. So I'd probably recommend them, excuse me, to someone else. So I think, you know, don't be annoyed if someone turns you away because it probably means that they have more integrity. I would feel better that someone said, look, I'm not knowledgeable enough. I'll recommend you to this guy. He really knows what he's on about. And I'd feel like you're an even better person and that I'd probably try and return the favor of referring someone to you if their goals and what my expertise was met up perfectly. So yeah, just a few of those points. Make sure you're asking heaps of questions before you even decide to start training with them. Once you do start training, think that it's an investment in your health. Make sure that they show integrity, that you're not just a dollar sign. All right, so they're just a few points that can possibly help you decide where and who you're going to train with. So yeah, thanks again for watching the video. Be sure to drop me an email if you need to talk anything training-wise, programming-wise. I do programming as well, not just training. So if you feel pretty comfortable with where you're at in the gym but you just need a little direction, just drop me an email at info@ironggrindstrength.com. Alrighty guys, thanks again. See ya.